This is a 1965 Ford Thunderbird. Originally came from the factory, green in color. It was completely restored, jammed, everything was taken apart. We do have pictures of the restoration, done many, many years ago, and the car still has a beautiful shine. It's powered by its 390 engine. Engine compartment was all painted at that time. Engine was pulled. Again, there's pictures of the restoration that comes with the car. So, bottom of the hood is painted beautifully red. Engine compartment's nice. Engines, the gold valve covers and stuff are painted real decent. But the engine and stuff, the paint on the engine's original, it appears to be. That's a little dirty, the engine itself is. Plug wires all look good, cap. It's all been tuned up. Runs great. Does have factory air conditioning. I don't think it works, so I'll try it when I get inside here, but I don't know when the last time that it was charged up, but it appears to be complete. Does also have power steering and power brakes. The gap on the driver's side, fender to hood, is really nice. Passenger side is very nice as well. Just a little wider in the front than it is in the back, but there's no clearance issues anywhere there. The front bumper polished up beautiful, except for at the bottom part of the bumper. Does have some surface rust on it. You can see that at the very, very bottom. But the top part and the bumper guards and stuff, grill, it all polished up real nice, and it's got a great shine. This is not a show condition T-Bird, but I'll tell you what, it definitely has the look. It's got a super straight body from front to back. Paint job was done, I'd say show quality back maybe when it was done, but it's got probably 20-30 years on it, but it still has a great shine and just a great overall appearance. It does have some 15-inch wheels with some wide whites on it. Does have the fender skirts in the back. As far as our paint, I should be able to point out most of the imperfections. Really, the car's paint, in my mind, is in really good shape. We've got just a little buffing compound still along here by the scoop. Other than that, the hood looks great. We got a little chip back here in this corner. And there's some buffing compound on these little grates here, which is very common. It's hard to, takes a long time to get all that stuff out of there. Front fender chrome needs to be replaced right here. Not sure quite what happened there, but that piece did get busted. Door gap's in really nice shape. We have just a little paint chip right here along that door. Our lines line up real nice too, all the way from the door to the quarter. Everything seems to line up really nicely. As we look at our lower fender, there's no blisters or imperfections on that lower fender. The rest of the paint looks good, like I said, on that chrome piece. I don't know if that just happened or what, because I never noticed that before, so I'll have to check on that, see if we can find one of those. It's got a couple tiny little blisters right down here by my finger, just very, very, very small. Other than that, the back side of the door is excellent. Paint on the door is great. I don't see any other paint chips anywhere on the door, except for that one I pointed out up front. Rocker panel, there's no blisters. Lower quarter panel might be a start of a very small blister right here by my finger. There again, very small. Over the wheel lip and the fender skirt looks nice. Behind the wheel looks great. Really paint on the whole passenger side except for that chip up there and that couple very small blisters. Paint and body looks really nice on this passenger side. Back bumper chrome's really pretty much just like the front bumper chrome. It has a great overall shine. You know, at 5 foot, you get up close. It's got some pits here on this side. Some imperfections around this T-Bird. And there's some surface rust right along this edge here. Inside the trunk is immaculate. It's got all the trunk mat, another matching wide white on spare with a hubcap and everything. So the trunk is immaculate shape. As far as our door gaps, when they did the restoration, as I mentioned before, there was pictures of it. They really did a nice job, especially with a complete color change. They went from kind of that emerald green or whatever to red, and you can see where the paint is chipped just a little bit over time. You can kind of see some of that, you know, back in the hinges here, you can see just a little bit of that green. Other than that, they did a really nice job on the door jambs. Door panel is excellent on the passenger side, very good shape. We are missing the little knob here, and as far as the window felts, they're original, they should be replaced. You got some tears on that window felt. The rubber itself is still pliable, but again, it shows some wear. Corners of the doors are excellent. As far as our passenger seat goes, this car did come factory with the white interior. I think it came with the aqua accents, but the factory white interior, probably the console or whatever would have been aqua in color. Carpet's been replaced. Seat on the passenger side's in really good shape, showing a little wear, but not as much as the driver's seat. That's showing more wear. Back seat appears original, also very presentable. Dash pad's in great shape. Now, as you can see in the video, all the windows do roll down off the driver's off the main switches up there. The passenger side rear here and the driver and passenger side front are both a little slower, so they take quite a bit of time to go down. The driver's side ones have new switches in them, and they work properly. As we look into the paint a little bit, you can see that there's some, when you're right on top of it, it looks like you can't really feel it, but you can kind of see some very light oxidation in the paint. But you can't feel it, so. Gaps in the trunk lid are great all the way around. The driver's side straightness of the body is just as nice as the passenger side. I mean, this is a super straight car. About the same spot as on the other one. We got one little tiny blister right here by the edge of my finger. Very small. Other than that, nothing behind the wheel, nothing over the wheel. Rocker panel's great, lower fender's great. This side's the original too. I don't see any paint chips on that front fender at all. Just, I guess there is some right, oh, that's buffing compound there too. Door gap on the front is excellent, all the way down to that rocker panel. Door gap matches up nicely with the quarter panel. Whoever did the restoration did a really nice job. As we go on here, the body is 63A, the color is U, trim is G7, date is 29A, DSO is 97, axles 1, trans is 4. Door panel lights work on the doors. Door panels themselves, I'm pretty sure they were replaced. I think I read that in receipts. They were replaced during restoration. I think the seats are the originals though. You can tell there's a seam split right here in the seat, and you got some scuffs here in the driver's side. So the car would benefit to probably getting the front seats covers redone, but they're not ripped and torn. Door jamb there again looks really good, except for about the only spot you can see on the whole entire car, the original color, is just on the hinges themselves. They didn't do a very good job prepping them, but as far as the prep on the rest of the door jambs, it all looks really nice. Same thing with the bottom of the trunk lid, bottom of the hood, very professionally done. As far as our oil pressure gauge works, gas gauge works, temp gauge works, and amp gauge appears to work. Turn our lights on, make sure. Yep. Amp gauge works as well. Wipers are in working order. As far as our radio, I'm gonna say it's not working, but it does make static. But I can't get any stations to come in, so. Probably could definitely be repaired, but. Heater fan does work. Appears to work on all the speeds. AC appears to be all there, but I'm sure it does not work, I would assume. I know the horn worked earlier, which I'm not sure why it ain't working now, but I tested it right before and it did work, so it must have a loose connection on the horn. The odometer shows 20,245 miles, and there's a ton of receipts that do come with the car. Speedometer works as well. It's got the ribbon type speedometer. Car's nice and quiet as far as the running of it. I noticed when I drove out here, and I'm not sure if it's the bias tires or if it just needs an alignment, it does have a little pull to the right going down the road. Here it's driving nice and straight, but when I came out it did have a pull. Shocks feel really good, no bottoming out there. Brakes feel nice and tight. You got a nice full pedal. Does have disc on the front. Car really steers nice as well. If we go through our interior again, we do have some pits and stuff like that on the factory chrome on the console. Pretty typical of a T-Bird. Other than that, the dash looks nice. The lettering on the gauges, stuff like that, the white is kind of wore off on some of those numbers there. As far as the car goes, seems to start right up to speed. .70 shifts right in at 65. Goes down the highway great. Take my hands off the wheel here in a second on this curve. Hands are off the wheel. For some reason, when I was going in town, it felt like it was pulling to the right. I don't know if maybe a brake was a little sticky or something, because going down the highway here, it's going down the road really nice. There's a kick down at 65. Kicks right down. Here's our brakes. No pull left or right. Car idles down nice. Really a nice drive-in driver condition 1965 T-Bird.